Welcome back to API Days New York. Day 2. We've got a great talk coming up next for you. Hope you enjoyed the opening keynotes from everybody. I'm thrilled to introduce Karthik TS, who's going to talk to us today about banking ecosystems. How are you doing today, Karthik?
Hi, Tony. Good morning, everyone. I'm fine. Thank you. How about you?
Doing fantastic here in Denver, Colorado. It's about to storm, but that's okay. I think we need the water. All right. Well, I'll let you take it away. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. This talk, I'm going to talk about true digital banking ecosystems and what's the relationship between API management and a digital marketplace. Why and how you should bundle both these components. So to give you a bit of background, let's look at API-driven digital banking ecosystems. So when you talk about API-driven digital ecosystems, this is what an API economy makes it possible. Like if you take a bank, today we are seeing that banks are targeting specific industry verticals and they are transforming themselves into not just a financial institutions company, but a complete digital services provider for an industry vertical. So in this example, I'm talking about a bank-powered digital farming. So this is the first level of opportunity. And we are seeing many banks and many financial institutions going this direction. So the second level is bank not just being an ecosystem owner, but also being an ecosystem enabler. And this is a B2B opportunity for banks to offer banking as a service, to not just provide banking capabilities, but also provide industry-specific capabilities in adjacent industry verticals. Like here, we're talking about banking as a service offered to healthcare industry, retail industry, energy industry, or any adjacent industry vertical. And this is what API-driven digital banking ecosystem makes it possible. And the last level of maturity is banks not just offering an ecosystem enabler, not just offering banking as a service and offering a digital marketplace, but also offering system integration services, which means you're talking about a fully closed connectivity. So you're talking about all the industry-specific offerings being published in the marketplace, but not just as dummy yellow pages, but live transactions being made possible, which means you're able to get access to the inventory capabilities of your partners. You're able to connect to the order management system of all the participants in your ecosystem, so that when consumers actually consume the specific industry vertical offering, they get a seamless experience. It's not just a meet and match kind of a marketplace, right? So here, the key point that I'd like to make here is when you think of a digital ecosystem, a digital marketplace is a key component of the digital ecosystem. And APIs are the glue that connects all the moving parts together. So let me explain this with an example in digital farming. So yeah, so here a digital farming ecosystem has many players, right? Like you have the product vendors, you have the service vendors, and you have the bank's core offerings. Right? And your target consumers could be not just farmers, but also related industries. Like it could even be some of these profiles, right? So if you look at each of these vendor profiles, they all have a need to utilize the capabilities offered by the bank. So they all need banking as a service. They need order management. They need inventory. Many of them may not be mature digitally. They may not have the infrastructure to put together an inventory system or an order management system. They only have a service offering, right? Because they do hardcore business only in their industry vertical. So this is an opportunity for banks to not just provide the banking capabilities, but also provide the IT enablement capabilities to these providers. So this is where the API management fits in. And I'll explain this in great detail in the upcoming slides. Right. So what are those IT capabilities, right? So taking the core banking capabilities, you're talking about all the financial services, that's a given. But in addition to financial services, you're also looking at the common capabilities that are essential for any digital business, be it billing, order management, inventory, procurement, logistics fulfillment, product catalog, right? So these are some of the common patterns that we are seeing that financial industries are adopting to offer this as a service. So banks may have the capabilities already, So the first step is to transform your IT estate so that you are able to not only use these capabilities for your business, but transform them into capabilities that you can offer to your B2B ecosystem. Uh, and you also are looking at ancillary services, which we are talking about API enablement as a service, where you're making your partner empowered. So your partner is now able to accept order. Your partner is able to make the live inventory data available. Your partner is now able to publish their availability data in terms of services. Right? So putting all these two things together gives a much closer and tighter integration and makes more meaning in the customer experience for the industry vertical specific digital ecosystem that the bank or financial services is offering. Now, this creates what we call the network effects, right? So here you have your capabilities, your IT backbone is enabled as a service, all the capabilities that we saw on the previous slide. And here you're talking about a sample profiles, right? You started with digital farming, but this could be any industry vertical, right? So you're talking about small retail outlets as an example, and I've given some sample profiles for reference. It could be independent service providers like plumbers, carpenters, accountants, or it could be logistics partners like transportation firms, delivery services, dropship companies, or depending on the industry vertical, you're even looking at IoT. You're looking at equipment providers. You're looking at automation providers. So what this makes it possible is these players can not only utilize the capabilities of the bank through the digital marketplace, but the peer-to-peer transactions are possible, because these partners are making their capabilities available as APIs. So a small retail outlet, for example, could actually procure an IoT device for automation of their supply chain, right? And to deliver the goods and services to the customer, they could leverage the logistics partner, which means they could hire a transportation truck or they could partner with a dropship company. And all these things tied together with the core capabilities of the bank, which is your core financial services. And this can further be enriched by partnership with adjacent industry verticals like insurance, telcos. And telcos are key in terms of providing the connectivity, because the moment you're talking about IoT, you're talking about connectivity. So these kind of partnerships will significantly enhance the transactional value for the peer-to-peer partnership. And this creates what we call the networks effect. Right? So the value of the transaction and the value of the offering is enriched to an extent that the customers can get their value increased in a geometric fashion. So this can create what we call the viral effect in a B2B context. So this is what API-driven digital marketplace for producing or offering a digital ecosystem makes it possible. Now, coming to the technical building blocks, we all know that any digital ecosystem requires a digital marketplace, and we talked about the role of API management as well. Now, let's look at the overlap of capabilities when it comes to a digital marketplace, API management, and the common capabilities, right? So we all know about the typical characteristics of the API management. It's all about having a developer portal, having an API policy enforcement point, talking about code generators, sandbox. And when it comes to digital marketplace, you have the typical order management, products, vendor onboarding, storefront, the portal where customers look up the services and place their orders. But when you look at the common capabilities, which are the overlaps, this is where it gets interesting. And this is where it's very important to look at digital marketplace and API management in one lens, in a single unified manner, right? So the vendor onboarding is common, be it a partner or a third-party developer. You need to make sure that you have a workflow to onboard the vendors. You also need to have a process to onboard your consumers, because you're talking about a B2B business. Every B2B business has their own policies, rules to onboard consumers. You need to have a self-service driven way to discover your consumers. You need to be able to bundle your products. And this is where it gets very important, right? So when you're talking about the vendor profiles, not all vendors will have only products or services. Some vendors may have data, right? And to make data available, API management has a very strong fit, right? So you need to make sure that your digital marketplace storefront also doubles up as an API developer portal. So which means you need to make sure that all your token management, your API SDKs, ability to create OAuth tokens, the complete lifecycle that you would expect in a developer portal is provided as a seamless experience, so that you don't have to switch between a developer portal and a digital marketplace. Everything is offered as a one-stop shop. And obviously revenue sharing, monetization, identity management, analytics, they all go together. Now, talking about how they all fit together in one place in terms of the technical building blocks, you have the marketplace website. You still need to have an API management component, which is an API gateway and a developer portal. And as part of the digital marketplace product suite, you'll also have a partner self-service portal, which makes it possible for the providers to enrich their catalog, to do the bundling. And this is the consumer facing portal, right? So you have the marketplace, right? And what happens behind the scenes? How is your backend as a bank or a financial institution ready to offer this, right? So to fulfill many of these capabilities that I talked about in the first slide, you may or may not have the capabilities in-house. So if you have the capability, you can enrich them and convert them into services. But if you don't have the capabilities, you need to look at third-party SaaS services to augment your capabilities. You need to build a microservices. And you also offer deeper integration to your partner systems. And this is where I talked about making the product catalog, making the inventory, making the availability available in real time. So this shows how the deeper integration works. So you have the digital marketplace and you have the API gateway installed in your partner systems. So your partner's product catalog, inventory, order capture, if your partner has the IT capability and they are mature, is securely exposed to the digital marketplace framework, right? And this not only includes the capability to kind of integrate these data points, but to also make data related products securely available through the API gateway and accessed through the digital ecosystem. So you would still have a kind of a unified gateway which seamlessly routes it to your partner systems. So let's see one of the examples in terms of real world examples. So this example I'm talking about in the energy management domain. Here we're talking about Schneider Electric. That's a global energy management giant. So Schneider has a platform called Exchange. So Exchange is one example where a digital marketplace and API management is all bundled into one unified experience. So Exchange is a digital marketplace that brings together different profiles in the energy industry, like your panel builders, electricians, energy auditors, energy software vendors, system integrators from an electrical standpoint. And also it makes data available of all the IoT devices securely available to third parties through an API gateway, right? So this is an example in energy management which actually shows whatever I talked about in action. And we are the system integration partners, and we do the integration backbone to actually make this happen. So in terms of the product capabilities, Torry has the Digit Market umbrella, which has all these components that I talked about under one umbrella. So we have the digital marketplace framework, we have the API management component, we have the integration tool, that's Coupler, which makes the partner system securely available, and we have a unified analytics framework called Foresight that plugs into both the marketplace and the API manager. So Digit Market supports all styles of products: the physical products, digital products, rental products, service-based products, collaboration-based products. So it's all under one-stop shop. And Digit Market API Manager seamlessly plugs into it. So the vendor onboarding module is a common module that works with both. The integration framework is extensible, which means we have built-in adapters for the common payment gateways, for the common backend systems. And we have an extension framework in our integration tool Coupler, which makes it possible for you to build your own connector so that you can easily integrate with your existing systems. So that brings to the end of my presentation. So I'll be happy to take any questions or any points that you have.
Oh, thank you so much, Karthik. I do have a question to get things started. And by the way, if anyone else in the audience has anything, please drop the questions in the chat. I'll be taking a peek at those. Really enjoyed seeing all of the various complementary services that organizations need to stand up in order to transform digitally. Any advice on maybe the first couple of those complementary services that maybe a bank may want to think about if they're considering transforming to becoming a little bit more API friendly?
Yes, so these are the key components that we see as the complementary services. I mean, I would call them as essential services because billing, product catalog, order management, inventory, these are the capabilities that cut across any industry vertical. So if you're talking about a digital offering, you would need to bill it. You would need to publish it in a catalog. And the catalog needs to be extensible. You need to do the bundling. And obviously you need a means to receive the orders, right? Even if you're an independent service provider, you need at least an app where your order pops in so that you know that you have a revenue opportunity and you can service them, right? This is where it gets very interesting. So if banks don't have the capability in-house, today we are living in the edge of the cloud. You just need to pick and choose the right SaaS service, have an agreement so that you can redistribute them and offer it as a service and integrate with your offering and integrate with your digital ecosystem.
Cool. Awesome. And you know, I also really enjoyed seeing you call out the network effect, you know, of bringing in all the partners in the ecosystem. And you know, certainly as my role heading up community at Orbit Love, a community engagement platform, that kind of bringing in community, bringing in the network is certainly close to things that I care about deeply. Could you maybe share like a story about maybe the most dramatic kind of network effect that you've seen out of an organization that's embracing kind of API first?
Right. I think one of the examples in the digital farming is, I mean, there is one bank in India that has this farming thing, because India as a market is very, very strong in the farming, right? So this has been integrated with the core banking app. So what we see is there is no access for the farmers to these providers without I mean, there's no way for them to reach out to these players unless the bank promotes them. So there is a great deal of interest for these providers to be on the banking ecosystem. So otherwise, they don't have any means to reach out. So this has created a huge revenue opportunity for these guys as well, because customers use the app anyway, and customers make sure that when they log into the app, the bank is able to leverage their profile and automatically show these components as value-added services. So this greatly increases the traffic of each of these players, and this creates a network effect in terms of the word spreading out. So you see more farming equipment rentals popping up, and each of these vendors have their own sister concerns, right? So they also have, for example, equipment rental guy will also have a consultant, for example, for agro engineering service, or they may have a kind of a soil testing device provider. So they are able to kind of bring those into the ecosystem as well, and this increases the value of the transactions. So that's an example that I would like to share.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, it definitely sounds like that those in most need of digital transformation are those without it right now, right? Which definitely makes a ton of sense. That's really cool. Well, I don't think we have any more questions from the audience, so thank you so much for sharing your time today. I'm sure the organizers will share out your contact information on socials so everyone can find you in the future. And everyone watching, make sure to stop by the Partner Village, talk to our partners, and say hi in there and learn about the cool new stuff they got going on. There's, I believe, some kind of a treasure hunt going on over there. So check that out. Enjoy the rest of the content today, and take care of yourself out there. Thank you so much.